So you remember when Bill Gates said this when he finally figured out this about COVID?
At that point, we didn't really understand the fatality rate. We didn't understand that it's a fairly low fatality rate and that it's a disease mainly of the elderly, kind of like flu is, although a bit different than.
So that's what he's saying about COVID. I don't know if you know what he just said. I'll play it again.
At that point, we didn't really understand the fatality rate. We didn't understand that it's a fairly low fatality rate and that it's a disease mainly of the elderly, kind of like flu is, although
but we knew we wanted lockdowns and money.
Yeah, but we knew we wanted lockdowns that would crush small businesses and transfer wealth upwards, and then we needed to get the CARES Act to transfer $5 trillion money. So you know what I'm telling? We had to get a couple of $100 billion into the stockholders of the big pharma, and then I can talk like this.
I'm just a simple farmer.
He's just a simple farmer.
You should chew a piece of straw while he talks about this.
So now the reason why I'm showing you that is because they're still pushing boosters, even though it's, according to Bill Gates, it has a low fatality rate and it's a disease mainly of the elderly. Fauci, the effects. So here they ask him about this new booster. So they have a bivalent booster, right? So the booster's going to go after BA.4, 5, and the regular strain. Is that what the bivalent means? It's going after.
Means it has 2 valents.
But look up what's in the bivalent vaccine, please. So the first one was going after B1, which is Omicron B1, but nobody now everyone's getting B5. So the new booster, or the new vaccine, is targeting that. But what else does it target? It targets. So here's what he says: a bivalent COVID-19 vaccines targeted the original COVID-19 strain, as we know. So that's what it does. It targets the original and BA.5. The new bivalent vaccine provides protection against both the original strain and the new Omicron B.4, B.5 variant. So that's what it does. So it goes out. Why would you be targeting the original strain? Someone needs to explain that to me. I don't understand. If we're all getting beef, well, is it because they've got it laying around and we got to...
Hey, put some Tylenol in it too.
Why not put a little Tylenol? Hey,
let some APAP.
Put something in that for my allergies too. While you're at it, something that clears up my nose. Can you put that in there? If you got it. So they ask him about. So that's what the bivalent is. So they ask him if it's been studied on people. Right? Have you done any trials on this new
dated vaccine that serves as a boost, as it were, and it's directed against the dominant circulating strain that's in society? You have every reason to believe that that is going to be better than having a vaccine that isn't highly specific to the circulating strain.
So he's saying this is going to be great because it's targeting the thing that's actually in circulation right now. So it's going to be great. That's what he's saying.
It hasn't been proven in a clinical trial because we don't have time to do a clinical trial.
Oh, just do it on me.
So just why don't we just have humans?
We'll just test it on your kids.
Just keep testing it on. So he just said there hasn't been a clinical trial. There has been no human trials on this, and they've only did it to animals, and they only have animal data, and they're not going to fucking let you see it.
No,
Jimmy, of course, there's no time. We don't want to have the CEO of Pfizer throw out 3 million vials again.
That's right. 30. I thought he said 30 million.
Maybe, yeah, some crazy number.
Oh, that's a shame.
But they did test it on 8 mice. So we already covered this. So why am I telling you all this? And by the way, the guy who's the head of FDA advisor and the director of the Vaccine Education Center at the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, he said, I'm uncomfortable that we would move forward, that we would give tens of millions of doses to people based on mouse data. That's what the guy in charge of the vaccine thing and the FDA advisor said. And then he went on to say, this guy contends that flu shots and COVID shots cannot be compared when considering the safety of slight modifications without human testing because of the different mutations and protection levels. So the guy who's the head of the vaccine department at the Philadelphia Children's and FDA, he's saying he's not cool with this, that there's no testing. He said he's not cool with it. Here is the head of the CDC. We've seen her before, and every time she talks, she sounds like a used car salesman who's lying. You know why? Because she's lying a lot. Updated COVID-19 vaccines are now available. So here's what she says. She's got this new thing out. Watch this.
Thank you for joining today's Director Debrief. Updated COVID-19 vaccines are now available to every American aged 12 and older who has received their primary series. CDC now recommends Pfizer-BioNTech's updated COVID-19 vaccines for people ages 12 and older, and Moderna's updated COVID-19 vaccines for people ages 18 and older. Half of the updated vaccine formula targets the original SARS-CoV-2 strain, and the other half of that vaccine targets BA.4 and BA.5 Omicron variants. Right now, as 99% of circulating virus in the United States are BA.5 and BA.4, updating these vaccines to match the circulating variants helps us to be better protected against these variants and future variants. Data from studies on over 1,700 people who received a bivalent COVID-19 vaccine demonstrated an increased immune response and broad protection against known variants.
Mice are people?
So it sounded like she just said they tested this on 1,700 people. But Fauci just said there were no clinical trials. I'm getting mixed messages. So is Congressman Massey. He said she cites a human study for bivalent vaccines, but neglects to mention that those studies weren't for the boosters she's pushing in the video.
Did she mean just bivalent vaccines in general, the concept,
No,
and not the actual one they're pushing?
No, she meant bivalent, the original B1 Omicron that it was targeting. They did test that on people, but this new one, they didn't. And the FDA advisor and the head of the vaccine department at the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia says he's not comfortable with that. She pretends they did. She's doing a switcheroo in that video.
She's real comfortable. She got a nice vacation tan on top of it that's a real comfort.
Yeah.
Got plenty of vitamin D. Put that.
Listen, I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be safe. I get that, peanuts and shellfish aren't safe for 7 billion people, but I'm sure this will be completely safe for everyone.
Yeah. I wonder if PolitiFact is going to fact check her. I wonder if factcheck.org is going to do a fact check on her and say that she lied. No, they're not going to. Why? Because those fact check places, A, aren't fact check places, and B, they're funded by the people that we debunk. They're funded by billionaires and oligarchs, people like George Soros, people like Bill Gates. Those are the ones who are funding those fucking places. And so they're never going to fact check her, but they will pretend and do bogus fact checks on guys like Dr. John Campbell, do bogus fact checks on people like me all day long. And they're not fact checked.
Big skeptic. We got to take him.
Yeah. So I don't know why that's misinformation. That's straight up misinformation. And that's not going to get taken down or flagged by Twitter or YouTube. Woody says, does she head the sales department for Pfizer now or still working for the CDC?
It's one job.
That is one job. That's the same job.
What?
Woody. But by the way, the potential myocarditis risk for the bivalent booster dose, unknown.
Wow.
There's no time.
Known.
There's no
time. We got to get it out because Omicron is so devastating. It's an emergency. By the way, the reason why you get emergency use authorization is because there's no other treatments. But I thought, and someone should correct me on this, I thought that monoclonal antibodies were an effective treatment that was effective up to 80% of the time.
Yeah.
They never talk about those anymore. And they said, well, they had three different monoclonal antibodies that you could get, but 2 of the 3 didn't work for Omicron. Well, one does.
And
well,
also,
that means one does,
what
right?
do I care if I get Omicron? Again, I don't understand. Everybody I know, even
has
somebody,
had Omicron.
even someone who's not, people I know who aren't vaccine Grinches like Jimmy, they know Omicron. And it's because Jimmy's heart's 2 sizes too small, and that's why he needs a booster to get it.
That's right.
The love of Christmas to swell it up. They all know Omicron's not deadly. So who is this for?
So they're now referring, by the way, they're now referring to, you know how when we've got your first double dose, they're referring to that as your primary series.
Oh, it's like a coat of paint. You get like
it's like your primer.
primer, yeah.
This is your primer. You know, when I went in to get my vaccine for COVID, I was told that if I didn't get it, I would probably get sick and die, and then I would spread it to everybody. And I wasn't told that this was my primary series of vaccines, and I was going to have to keep doing this for the rest of my goddamn life. I was not told that. I was told that this was a vaccine, and that if I got the vaccine, I wasn't going to get COVID, and I wasn't going to spread it. That's what I was told.
Cold.
Stops it cold. That's what we were told. I wasn't told it was my primary series of doses of this fucking vaccine. That's not what I was told. They didn't go, hey, go get started. Go get your primary series of vaccines for COVID.
Get ready to begin a wonderful journey.
A lifelong journey.
Who's
What?
still getting them? Like
You tell me.
We live in LA. I don't ever have to like show my Vax card or anything. The only people I've seen getting it are I follow some people from the Democratic Party of Orange County, and they're proudly going and taking Instagram photos of them getting their jabs.
I've seen those.
Who's actually still getting it? Like other than them?
Oh, I went to Laugh Factory on Friday, you know? So the crowd's probably more, it's like, I'd say more brown than white. Because I always ask people who got 3 shots, who got like 3 shots in COVID more than twice, just because I'm curious. So there's only white people raising it. That's what I love. God bless black people. Like they ignored the whole thing. Like, well, yeah, you just make a card, man.
So here's what they're showing now at the CDC. Current recommendations: dose 1 primary, dose 2 primary, dose 3, that's your booster.
And then what's dose 4? My breakthrough dose?
Or if you're 50 or older, you got to get another one.
And also, if you were obese, you had to get 3 out of the gate, remember?
I don't remember that.
4 boosters. And
Really?
obese people need 3 helpings of vaccine.
So here's what they say to do with kids. Future recommendations. People 5, you get your primary dose, you get all primed up, and then you get a bivalent booster. That's what they want you to do now. And right here it says, regardless of previous booster dose given, you still do this.
Oh, God, I want to ask my sister if she's doing it, my nieces, but I'm afraid to know, so I don't. It's our kids, but Jesus Christ.
Remember what Fauci used to say? Because we've all had COVID. This is what Fauci used to say.
But she's had the flu for 14 days. Should she get a flu shot?
Well, no. If she got the flu for 14 days, she's as protected as anybody can be, because the best vaccination is to get infected yourself.
And
so
she should not get it?
If she really has the flu, she definitely doesn't need a flu vaccine. If she really has the flu.
She should not get it again.
No, she doesn't need it because it's the...
I don't get any residuals off of that one, so no, you know, the immunity will be fine.
But she's had the flu for 14 days. Should she get a flu shot?
No. Okay, remember, that's what he used to say. Jackson, did you get your booster?
No, but seeing that, that statistic about they don't know what the risk of myocarditis is, I guess, it's making me change my mind. You definitely can't have a high risk of myocarditis if you don't know what the risk is at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, go look at our other videos about the risk of myocarditis to males under 40 from Moderna.
That Moderna risk was shocking compared to...
Shocking.
I mean, I got Pfizer. Thank God.
I got Moderna. Hey, come catch one of our live stand-up shows. We'll be in Spokane, Tacoma, Virginia Beach, Richmond, Arlington, San Jose, Miami, West Palm Beach. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member while you're there.